He
Good morning and welcome to the Locker Room 981. It's a part of Smooth Breakfast on Smooth 98.1 this Friday morning, the 9th of April 2021. My name is Valentine Ohu and Tega is here. Hi Tega, good morning.
good morning. He's making me stream live.
Yes, and I love it. I love it every time Tega gives me that reaction to the streaming. You can watch, see her face, Palton face that is, on youtube.com/smooth 91 FM Lagos. Just type in the search box Smooth FM Lagos. You'll find the stream. And please subscribe to our channel so you can watch every time we'll come on live. We have stories to go through. To be part of this conversation, please send messages through WhatsApp to 0809 444 0981. That's our WhatsApp number 0809 444 0981. You can send through Twitter at Smooth981FM with the hashtag LockerRoom981. You can also watch on YouTube and leave a comment on that platform. Okay, Taga, let's start with what's going on in Benin, Edo State. The
Mm-hmm.
Deputy Governor of Edo State, Philip Schreiber, has directed that the local organizing committee and main organizing committee (MOC) offices of the ongoing National Sports Festival in Benin be shut down following yesterday's revelation that the state has no more funds to prosecute the festival. In his words, gentlemen of the press, we have ordered that the MOC office be shut down, and if nothing positive from the federal government in terms of funds is heard before 12 noon tomorrow, Friday, we will discontinue the sports festival, he said.
Okay. So this is one of the reasons, apart from COVID, this is one of the reasons why sports festival couldn't hold. Different states had rejected um that they don't have the money to host it. So some people have the facilities they need to maintain, then they have the feeding, they have the staff they need to employ. There's just so much to host the sports festival. Now, those states agreed to host the sports festival, and they had so federal government to give them some money.
Mm.
They would use their money to organize a few things. But yesterday, sorry, the day before yesterday, they had said they've run out of money and federal government has put them in a don't speak. So the money, the money that they were supposed to receive from the federal government, they haven't. It's still going to voicemail. So they hadn't received it, and they were saying that they didn't have enough money
Mm.
to host the festival. So there were even questions if the festival was going to hold, if the games were going to hold yesterday, were going to hold yesterday, the
Mm.
different events. But it eventually held. So today is the deadline. Today is Friday, 12 noon. If they don't get any money from the federal government, according to them, they will end the National Sports Festival Games. I'm just wondering why we start do this to ourselves. I mean, it's sports festival that was planned since last year. You kept Didn't you have a budget for it? Why weren't funds released in time? Are we supposed to host the sports festival or nothing? Because their vendors is food. You can say you may pay the staff that work for Edo State government, maybe after the tournament. But there are certain things that need to be paid for during the tournament, and so we can't do that. I think at first I thought what Edo State was trying to do was, hold the federal government hostage. Like, if you
Mm.
don't do this, we are not going to, and then maybe threaten, and
And then,
eventually,
yeah,
yeah,
the smoke will
eventually,
clear.
yeah,
Mm.
eventually somebody will say, calm down, we'll give you something. But I think Edo State doesn't want to spend their money because they're not sure that they'll get it back. Because it's something that they could have done, like host and then later um get their money refunded to them. But I don't think they want to do that. They don't want to take that risk. They're not ready to play. But it's really sad for the athletes, waiting for this. Some of them have not seen competition in a while. They were happy to get back to test their readiness, even for some Olympic qualifiers that are still yet to come. And it's just not fair for most of the athletes. However, we hope that that will be resolved by today. But in other news, let me brag again. So I have to look at the table because I didn't cram it. And that's another inconsistency in the table. So the table goes as so, bragging rights. Delta State. according to the recently released table, there will be some inconsistencies. Some people are saying that their states, they have not given them the one gold they won. Some people are saying they have one silver and two bronze and they've not seen it on the table. But the champions, like people like me in the studio, they're my state, Delta State, as you know, my name is Tega Onojaiye,
Yes.
of Ethiopia East Local Government,
Thank you.
Abraka.
Say it loud.
There is a university in my village, so treat me with respect. So Delta State is at the top of the table. They have 72 medals in total, 32 gold, 25 silver, 15 bronze. What can I say? Bayelsa State they're second on the table. They have 20 gold, 8 silver, 15 bronze, and they have 43 medals in total. Now, Edo State has more medals than Bayelsa State, but you know how it is. There's people with more gold that go on to the top. So Edo State now have 18 gold, 24 silver, 21 bronze, and 63 medals. Because I live in Lagos, let me say, Lagos State has 2 gold, They have 18 medals in total, but they have 2 gold, 7 silver, and 9 bronze. Yeah, that's all you got. But they're down on the table at 7th. The rest of you, we only call gold, silver, and bronze. The rest of you are somewhere on the table. But I can't be mentioning. But I can tell you this: Adamawa State, Benue State, Ebonyi State, Enugu State, Jigawa, Kogi, and Taraba have not registered any medal. So if you are from those states, perhaps it's time to groom your children, so that this will not happen in 2025 National Sports Festival.
Absolutely.
But we are winning.
No. But what you said is very instructive. Groom your children.
Groom your children now. So
Start
that's
now.
it. Start now. Sorry.
When they go out to play, encourage them. It's nice. This year's French Open has been postponed and by a week due to the COVID-19 pandemic, and will begin on May 30. The French Tennis Federation, FFT, said this yesterday. Now, FFT President Giles Morton has said that it had made the decision after consulting with public authorities, the governing bodies of the international tennis, and its partners and broadcasters. In his words, it will give the health situation more time to improve and should optimize our chances of welcoming spectators at Roland Garros.
Okay. So, like we said on Wednesday, because of the COVID and the lockdown, the Roland Garros was actually going to be postponed. But this time, they have not offended anybody. Last year, because of the situation, when the president just said we are shutting down, they moved it by 4 months. They did not tell ATP, they did not tell WTA. In fact, those people found out when we found out that this is going to be moved.
Wow.
But 2020 being 2020, everybody kind of readjusted. They had about 1,000 fans. It wasn't a lot. But now they're doing it and to try and see how many people can get into watch the Roland Garros. I hope it works out. What happens is it's going to affect a few other tournaments. There's some other ATP and WTA tournaments that were scheduled to hold around that time. It's going to affect them a little bit, but everybody is going to go to the Grand Slam. That one is guaranteed. So if you have a 500 ATP tournament to attend or a WTA tournament that's to attend and it's around that time, you will have to readjust your calendar. Otherwise, you will not be getting the cream of the crop tennis players that you want to have. But that being said, we are glad that Roland Garros is still holding, albeit 1 week after. But the big news in tennis is that Rafa Nadal's uncle, who used to be Rafa Nadal's coach, has now, he was Rafa Nadal's coach. Then Rafa Nadal now decided that he needed something extra and he brought in his new coach, and then Rafa Nadal's uncle said he was getting very little say in it, so he was just going to go and manage Rafa Nadal's tennis academy in Mallorca, as opposed to following the team and be playing second fiddle where he had been the main coach. And so he left the Rafa Nadal coaching team and was in the Rafa Nadal academy. But now he's joining Felix Auger-Aliassime, that my great guy from Canada. So he's going to be his coach in the box. Now, Felix is not firing his other coach. He just said he needed somebody who has won with a tennis player at the highest level, and which is why he's bringing Tony Nadal. Now, Tony Nadal, if you know, Rafa Nadal has 20 Grand Slam titles. Tony Nadal won 16 of them with him.
Hmm.
Tony Nadal was the guy. Rafa Nadal is right-handed. Tony Nadal was the guy that told him, "Look, I'm going to give you an extra edge. You're going to play with your left hand so that you will confuse most of the right-handed players." So Tony Nadal was the
Wow.
one that groomed Rafa Nadal
Yeah.
from the start. Was the
Yes.
one that said, "Look, tennis, not football. There are many footballers, not many tennis players." So he's the one that groomed him to the Rafa Nadal that we know and we love. And so it will be strange seeing Tony Nadal in another player's box.
I know.
Because he hasn't, because of he has left, he hasn't traveled with Rafa Nadal. I think there was one tournament though that Rafa Nadal got to the final and he was really insistent that his uncle came. But Tony Nadal hasn't been in a player's box since. So to see Tony Nadal
In a different
in
box.
a box that the player's name doesn't end with Nadal, it's going to be strange. But he did say though that if Felix Ojealesim met Nadal in any of the tournaments, that he wouldn't be in either player's box. He just chill at home.
That's loyalty there.
He's his uncle. He's literally his father's brother. It's not like he can. I mean,
if he does anyhow, I find you in that box. I'm
they,
not reporting the
see
family.
exactly. They see each other almost every time. So, but it's going to be strange. But that's the big news coming out of tennis, and of course the WTA, where the I can't mention the name. Okay, the WTA that's holding in Charleston. Because I can't.
Yes.
And so Kvitova yesterday was knocked out. For the first time, I watched Coco Golf and she didn't lose her match. I watched her live as it was happening and she didn't lose her match. So
there's something about you watching a game.
I used to believe that because so what happened was I was always watching Coco Golf after she played. So most in general, she's won the matches. I'll just watch it to see how she played. But I found out that every time I was watching her live, she lost. So I used to be skeptical about watching her. So last night I said I'll watch her. If she wants to lose today, let her lose. And she won in straight sets. So
she's watching this video, I guess. So I guess she'll probably, give you some merits. So
Yeah.
Thank you. Please next time, tune in next time so I can win.
okay.
Please send your messages to WhatsApp 0809 444 0981. Let's take a quick break. We'll be back to continue the conversation inside of the locker room 981.
Marie, and you're listening to Smooth
Send those messages. So Val does this thing to me where he doesn't tell me I'm going to go on air, so I'm not going to brush my hair. See, I didn't brush. I didn't put any edge control.
We like it like that.
No edge control, no makeup. See my brows. I did not go on fleek. Nothing. Just as I woke up, that's how people have seen me. So people have seen me naked now. So all of you pay my bride price. My bride price is 50 naira.
What? No, it's more than that.
No, my bride price is 50 naira. All the other things are addendums. So buy box for the mother, and buy for the father, buy clothes, and then you give the young girls in the compound money.
Yes.
Then you feed her age group.
And then
You
drinks,
you give her age group money.
Yeah.
Then you give her father's age group drinks. Shekwe,
yes.
because we are robo. We brush mouth with that thing. So you give her father's age group, hots. All those other things are addendum. The bride price itself, the money you put inside the plate is 50 naira. Really. So all of you that have seen me without makeup, 50 naira. And it must be 50 naira. It can't be 200 naira and I'll come and be looking for change. 50 naira. Clean one. Go to the bank and collect mint 50 naira. Have you heard?
The one with the serial number, the most recent serial
Yeah,
number.
the one with the most recent serial number. All of you that have seen me without makeup, because you have seen me naked because of Valentine. So bring my 50 naira. Have you heard me? Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
50 naira only.
Yes, ma'am.
And that's not for the full wife. That's just to say that. Then I will now decide if I will come into your house. Because as an honorable girl, I determine. Thank you. Send those messages now.
Weekday mornings on Smooth 98.1.
Good to know you're still hanging in there with us here on Smooth 98.1. The Locker Room 981 is a part of Smooth's Breakfast, and we'll go into sports at this time. We're joined by Tega Onojaiye, Tega Supreme, Tega the Tiger, Tega the Fighter. She's a sports
I don't fight.
pundit.
I'm a lover,
Ooh,
not a fighter.
look at that.
Yeah.
Watch the face. Watch the gestures that go with that talk.
I'm
on
lying,
YouTube.
Abby.
YouTube.com/Smooth981FM Lagos. Sammy on TV, thank you so much for your comments on YouTube. Says good morning, Tega the Sports Tiger. See, we got it. WhatsApp messages 0809-444-0981. This time we have a message in from Tyre. Tyre says, if you did not win any medal, why spend all that resource when you can be absent? I think mismanagement should be a new name in this country. How do you ruin a 1 week event? How? Seriously, just how? And then Olufemi Omotayo says Arsenal is just specialists in inconsistency. How do you score your first goal in 86 minutes and still don't win?
We are coming to that. So in fact, let's get to the stories.
Now, Barcelona travel to Real Madrid on Saturday in what is said to be one of the most pivotal El Clasico meetings in recent memory, with both sides fast closing in on stuttering Atletico Madrid at the top of La Liga table. According to Benzema, he says it will be a tough game against a side who likes to dominate the ball. They've got a great goalkeeper and, of course, Messi, the player who does everything for Barcelona. We need to be wary of him because he's so dangerous. Just like in the first meeting this season, we'll go out on the pitch looking for the win. It's a final for us.
Yes, it's a final for them. It's important. If so, the La Liga table is thus: Atletico Madrid on 66 points, Barcelona on 65 points, so literally just 1 point, and then Real Madrid on 63 points. So if Real Madrid should beat Barcelona, first of all, they have the head-to-head advantage in this 3-horse race, and then they can go on top of Barcelona at least for this weekend. I'll go ahead of Barcelona at least for this weekend and close the gap to Atletico Madrid. Atletico Madrid also face a tough match this weekend. They play Real Betis away. So tough fixture for them that they need to get all 3 points. But what is important for them is both teams are in form, which is what is making this interesting. Apart from the fact that there's a title race literally hanging in the balance for the El Clasico, both teams are in form. Real Madrid playing beautifully in the La Liga and in Europe. For Barcelona, though, they are in form if you look at their results, because they've gone, I think, 19 games unbeaten, or maybe 18 or 19 games unbeaten. And so there is that consistency where they haven't yet lost, which is why they've been able to close this gap. However, they haven't been scoring as easily as normally they would, and they are frail defensively. And so that's where Real Madrid can capitalize on easily with the form of Luka Modric and Toni Kroos, and with Benzema and Vinicius running in on defenses, especially Barcelona that like to play very high up the pitch and are most in general caught up during a counter. I think Real Madrid can capitalize on that and win this game. So if you asked me, based on the performance of both teams now, I'd say Real Madrid to shade this slightly, because of the way they play, the fluid football, the form they are in, and Barcelona's frailties defensively. But I cannot discount Barcelona's 19-game unbeaten run. So it's going to be really tough to call. I still give Real Madrid a slight advantage over Barcelona, but it'll be difficult to call, like I said.
Ronaldo, will he be playing that game?
No, Ronaldo has moved to a different league.
Yeah, that's true.
He's in Italy. This doesn't concern him.
That's true. I'm always associating him with that.
Oh.
God bless. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I understand it fear now. Wow. 25 minutes before 9 o'clock. Stay with us here to get all the updates. Now, Arsenal. Slavia Prague took charge of the Europa League quarterfinal against wasteful Arsenal on Thursday, stealing an away goal deep into stoppage time to rescue a 1-1 draw at the Emirates. Nicolas Pepe had broken the deadlock for Arsenal in the 86th minute after a night of glaring misses in the first leg of the last 8 tie. But Thomas Holes headed in the last gasp equalizer to leave the contest finally poised.
Thank you. That's all I can say. All Arsenal had one job. Just one job. It was 93 point something minutes on the clock, and they only had 4 minutes of added time, and it's Europe, so it's not like they're going to extend the 4 minutes any longer. They had that less than a minute to just take away a 1-goal lead, and they considered a goal. Again, Cedric was the player that was beaten to get the goal in the back of the net. And it's something that Arsenal would have to worry about. They were playing at home, created chance after chance, especially in the first half. chances that they should have buried. Unfortunately, they didn't. Then they get that 86-minute goal, and you could tell how much it meant, because for the first time, I really saw Mikel Arteta jump up and down when it was not a final. I've seen him celebrate during finals, but getting a goal in the first leg of the Europa League, I've not seen him jump like that. But he knew the importance of that, just to give you some kind of comfort. Only for his team to now concede a few seconds before the referee blew his whistle. Very unnecessary. And for me, it was the way they did it. Because the minute I saw the ball go to that end of the pitch, they didn't need to consider a corner kick. Concede a corner kick at that time of game, knowing exactly how frail defensively they are when it comes to set pieces.
You get all your players to back it up.
See, they dominated possession up till that moment. Why didn't you just keep the ball? And so, for the life of me, it again, Arsenal baffles the mind. Sometimes they play very beautiful football, get a decent run of games, get some good results, and then they drop the ball like they did on this day. So sad one for them.
Steadfast fans.
Yes, unfortunately. This kind of heartbreak, nobody should be tolerating it year after year. But they get to go and play the second leg away. Now, I think that will be tough. But again, because they may be playing at a stadium with no fans. So sometimes when they're playing, players have said when they travel to a stadium and there are no fans, it's almost as if they're playing a neutral ground, because now nobody has anybody. The only people that we depend on are on the pitch. And I guess that gives Arsenal a hope and a prayer. But if you ask me, very disappointing end to the game.
Randolph.
You have to go straight to the news.
I'm telling you. Randolph says, the mega Tega, good morning. We only have two topics: Arteta out and Manchester United winning.
Let's take that Manchester story.
Okay, so we have this story that I have to go through immediately. Now, this actually is talking about the Bayern Munich game.
No, let's take the Manchester story.
In the meantime, let me take a few messages before we get to that. This one from Shegun Inikorodu says, currently watching the highlights of the Arsenal match. All I can say to the fans is believe in the Arteta project.
Because there's nothing else to say. Sounds like a campaign slogan. Believe in Arteta project.
Okay. Marcus Rashford's brilliant finish and Bruno Fernandes' penalty handed Manchester United a 2-0 victory over Granada on Thursday, putting them firmly in charge of the Europa League quarterfinal first leg. Rashford latched onto a long ball from Victor Lindelof in the first half, the striker injecting one bit of quality into a frantic contest at the Los Caminos before Fernandes made it 2 in the 90th minute after being elbowed by Jan Eteki. The result gives United a commanding lead heading into the second leg at Old Trafford, where they should finish the job and book their place in the semi-final to face either Ajax or Roma.
Again, this was always going to be the outcome I expected, especially with the Spanish team. Now, the Spanish team, regardless of how it is or whoever they're facing, for some reason I do not understand, they just like to play their football the way they like to play their football. So some smaller teams in the Premiership or in Italy would see a bigger team from somewhere else and decide that they'll defend and catch the team on the counter. Not Spanish teams. They will play their football. They will still dribble. They will pass the ball 100 times. They will walk the ball. It's beautiful to watch. It's just not effective oftentimes. And that's so I expected that Manchester United will come with their effective clinical game and win. And they did that. And this game doesn't just tell in the Europa, it also helps them in the Premier League, because now they go back home with a result and they can risk it all against Tottenham this weekend. That's the big one for Manchester United. So this weekend, they face a Tottenham side. And for them, it's important to get that win. And so this commanding victory that they have gives them peace of mind when it comes to player selection and performance and effort that they are going to put over the next few weeks. So great one for Manchester United. Again, Fernandes came and scored his penalty, but hey, that's what Manchester United paid money for him for. Right. Someone that can score penalties, make crosses, and score goals. So if he scores 20, if he has 23 goals a season and 20 of them are penalties, okay.
Yeah, that's the ultimate goal.
Because as you can tell, penalties are not easy to score
at all.
You need to ask. Yeah.
Can I get to the Inter Milan?
Yes, let's go to the Inter Milan.
So Inter Milan coach Antonio Conte said he will happily sacrifice aesthetics to guide his side to a Serie A title after they went 11 points clear with a 2-1 win over Sassuolo on Wednesday. The style of the victory and surprised some, as Inter defended deep and allowed the visitors the ball at San Siro. According to him, he said, "We played well against Real Madrid in the Champions League and had some great games, but the final result was that we went out of the competition while playing well, which did not interest anyone. Today, we did not disregard aesthetics, but we adapted to the situation because our objective is so important that aesthetics come second."
I agree with him. So I agree with him. Look, truth be told, football is entertainment to those that are watching, but to people like Antonio Conte and the players, result is what determines their career.
Which emphasizes what we just said.
Yeah, results determine their career. So they get on the pitch and they know then they need to win. Yes, it's 11 points between Inter Milan and AC Milan and 12 between them and Juventus, but it doesn't mean they have to drop the ball. They need to do what they need to do to win the Scudetto at the end of the season. And they got on the pitch. It wasn't an easy match against Sassuolo. It was kind of identical to what was happening in the Juventus Napoli match. Inter Milan scored 2 goals, Juventus scored 2 goals, and then Napoli scored 1 goal to make it frantic. And so did Sassuolo to make it a frantic end to the match. But I totally agree with Antonio Conte. After a while, pretty football doesn't count. Like he said, they played pretty football when they went to Europe. And they got dumped out of the competition. So why don't we play the football that will get us the result? We worry about aesthetics later. The trophy always looks beautiful.
Yes.
In fact, winning is beautiful.
I'm telling you.
So you can use that to cover up for the ugly football.
When we have the trophy, we
When we have the trophy, we'll have some beautiful decorations.
Yeah.
You can see beauty then. But for now, we play ugly football if we need to get the 3 points, and that's what they're doing. So they're conveniently at the top of the table. Like I said, 11 points between them. They face Calgary this weekend, which is not an easy one, but they're playing at home. AC Milan faces, I think, Parma. So that's a tricky one because Parma are fighting relegation. And during the business end of the season, you don't really want to be facing relegation threatened sides because now they are drowning guys. So they come out, they are already down. They don't fear anything. So they go out and try to get results. So it'll be interesting to see how this turns out. But for now, it looks like the Scudetto is firmly on its way to San Siro and to Inter Milan in San Siro.
Fantastic. We have this message in from Biggie in Ketsu. He says, Delta is a state with all the raw talents. They deserve the goals. A great talent like Tega in the studio. I want Athletics to win this La Liga. Okay.
Yeah.
Atletico, okay,
Yeah.
so that's what he meant. Arsenal needs a special soap to wash their face or their head in juvenile. I don't understand. Aubameyang is now a Yahoo boy using the money they pay him to do Travis Scott kind of hair.
The money is just heavy.
He said. Shegun from Ikorodu says, I hope United defeats Spurs on Sunday because I do not want Ole to use last night's game as an excuse like he did against Milan. Shegun, thank you for your message. Tayo says, maybe after this loss, Zlatan can go into full-time acting. He's becoming old, but he's forming stubborn head. And he said earlier that Conte is the definition of savage, working like it's 8 to 5, Monday through Friday afternoon.
Leave. Why are you telling Zlatan to go? He's doing his job. He's getting them the goals. He's giving them the confidence. If he wants to play till he's 50, it's his prerogative.
I know, right?
I've stopped telling. See, so I tell people. I remember one interview that they asked Roger Federer. So why did you play tennis? He said, first of all, it can pay the bills. He said, if tennis didn't pay me money, I wouldn't be doing this because I always knew I would have a family to take care of. So I needed to earn a living. So for most of these players, first of all, you forget they are earning a living. You don't always win best staff in your office and you're still working there. Why don't you leave?
Exactly.
So and you put exactly. And people are telling people to leave their jobs, are paying them salary. Don't think that they've made enough money. Money is never enough. So
it's not for the aesthetics.
Exactly. So leave him first. He's still earning his money. If he doesn't earn him a living, then he can leave. And if he's still at the top of his game, why not? If not, I mean, he scored most of the important goals that AC Milan even got to be in this competition at all. So you guys should calm down. Leave Zlatan.
Yes, please. Leave him alone. Tega, thank you so much. Although we don't want to leave you alone, but just let you go. Stay with us on Smooth 98.1 because in 15 minutes I'll be entertaining your calls and messages in reaction to this question. How do you typically spend your weekend?
Every move you
Sleep and football. That's how I spend my weekend. Sleep and football.
That's
Bye.
right. Thank you.
Thank you. So I'm going to go and spend my weekend now.
will
Bye.